The sound of metal clanking filled the small repair shop as Ethan wiped the grease from his hands. He had spent the last 10 years working as a mechanic in a quiet American town, fixing everything from pickup trucks to old bicycles. To most people, he was just the guy who patched up engines. What they didn't know was that behind the oil-stained uniform was a man with a brilliant but unfulfilled dream, an unfinished engineering degree, left behind when his father fell ill and he had to take over the family garage. One chilly autumn afternoon, a sleek black limousine rolled into his shop, completely out of place among the beat-up cars he usually worked on. Ethan raised his eyebrows as the back door opened, and a woman stepped out. She was dressed in a tailored suit, her diamond watch flashing under the dim garage lights. Her presence screamed wealth and power. But Ethan didn't notice her jewelry. His eyes locked on the little girl struggling to follow her, leaning heavily on crutches, each step shaky and painful. She couldn't have been more than 9 years old. The woman cleared her throat. "Are you Ethan Miller?" "Yes, ma'am," he said, wiping his hands. "I was told you're different. Not just a mechanic. Someone who can fix what others can't." Her voice trembled slightly. "My daughter, Lily, was born with a condition. She's had surgeries, treatments, therapy, nothing has helped her walk properly. Doctors say she'll never run like other kids. But she saw a story online about a mechanic who built custom tools for disabled veterans. Was that you?" Ethan swallowed hard. He hadn't realized anyone noticed those late-night projects he posted online. "That was me," he admitted softly. The woman's eyes glistened. "Can you help my daughter?" For weeks, Ethan dedicated every spare moment to designing something for Lily. He turned the dusty back room of his garage into a workshop, sketching, welding, and adjusting. He wanted to build her not just braces, but freedom. Lily would visit after school, her laughter filling the shop. While Ethan worked, she'd chatter about her favorite books and how badly she wanted to play soccer like other kids. Despite her struggles, she never complained. Her courage lit something inside him. One evening, as Ethan tightened the last bolts on a lightweight exoskeleton he had crafted from scrap metal and salvaged car parts, Lily's mom stepped in quietly. She had been watching from the corner, her cold business exterior softening day by day. "You're doing all this, for free?" she asked in disbelief. Ethan shrugged. "Some things are worth more than money." The day of the trial finally came. The garage was silent except for Lily's uneven breaths as Ethan strapped the device around her legs. Lily would visit after school, her laughter filling the shop. While Ethan worked, she'd chatter about her favorite books and how badly she wanted to play soccer like other kids. Despite her struggles, she never complained. As months turned into years, Ethan's name began spreading far beyond their little town. What started with Lily became a movement. Children who had been told no by doctors were walking, running, and even dancing because of the devices Ethan designed. But Ethan never let the attention change him. He still lived in his modest home, still drove the same rusty pickup, and still kept his father's old toolbox on the garage shelf as a reminder of where he came from. One evening, after a long day, Ethan found Lily waiting outside the workshop with a huge smile on her face. "Guess what?" she said, almost bouncing with excitement. "What?" Ethan asked, leaning on the doorframe. "I got picked to be captain of my soccer team." Ethan's heart swelled. A girl who once struggled to take 3 steps without crutches was now leading others on a soccer field. Her mother, standing nearby, wiped her eyes. She no longer looked like the distant, untouchable billionaire he had first met. Now, she was simply a mother who had found joy in the little things, her daughter's laughter, her victories, her freedom. The foundation grew stronger. A children's hospital in New York City partnered with them. Universities reached out to work with Ethan on new designs. And slowly, the world began to see him not as just a mechanic, but as an innovator, a healer, and most of all, a man whose heart changed lives. But Ethan always said the same thing whenever reporters asked for a quote. "I'm not special. I just refuse to stop trying." Years later, at a charity gala filled with politicians, celebrities, and world leaders, Lily, now a teenager, stood on stage. She spoke with a confidence that silenced the room. "There was a time I thought I'd never walk. But one man refused to see me as broken. He built me more than a device, he built me a future. And today, I want to say this: if you're struggling, if the world has told you no, remember there's always hope." The crowd erupted in applause, but Ethan sat quietly at the back, humbled. He didn't care for the spotlight. All he cared about was seeing Lily, alive with possibility. That night, as he left the gala, Lily ran up to him. She hugged him tightly and whispered, "You're my hero." Ethan smiled, his eyes misty. "No, kiddo. You're mine." And in that simple exchange, the truth was clear: the greatest miracles in life aren't built with money or fame, but with love, perseverance, and the courage to believe in one another. Years later, the foundation had touched thousands of lives. Children from the US, the UK, Canada, and even faraway countries came to Ethan's facility. Each one arrived with eyes full of uncertainty, and left with new hope. But with growth came challenges. Big corporations began circling, offering to buy Ethan's designs for billions. They wanted to mass-produce his devices and sell them at prices only the wealthy could afford. Ethan sat across the long, polished conference table, listening as one executive smiled and said, "Think about it, Mr. Miller. You'd never have to work another day in your life. With our resources, you could be richer than anyone in this country." Ethan leaned back, his hands still rough from years of real labor. "You don't understand," he said firmly. "This was never about money. If a child needs to walk, they'll walk. Whether they're the son of a billionaire or the daughter of a farmer, it doesn't matter. My designs stay free." The room went silent. And with that, Ethan walked out. Meanwhile, Lily was growing into a young woman who carried his spirit. She wasn't just walking, she was running marathons to raise funds for children with disabilities. Each race she finished brought tears to her mother's eyes. Once, after crossing a finish line, Lily raised her medal high and shouted, "This is for the little girl I used to be, and for every kid still waiting to take their first step." Her words made headlines across the world.